What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Broad Street Coverage Podcast. Today we have myself, Philly Sports Today, Nate, Philly Sports Gang, Nick, 76 Not Nation, and Samir, Fly Sixers Fly. Before we start, make sure to follow the Instagram at Broad Street Coverage, subscribe to the YouTube Broad Street Coverage, or wherever you get your podcasts. So we're going to start by talking about the Phillies. We're currently 8-7. After playing some tough teams to start, we had two. What was it? 12 games against two of the best
The
teams in the
Braves and the
division,
Mets.
and we went 6-6. And then a series against the Cardinals, who are presumed to be the NL Central favorites, although the Reds have been hot to start the year and they could win. But anyway, the Cardinals are a solid team, and if it weren't for Matt Moore throwing meatballs and not throwing any strikes last night, we probably could have swept that series. But so we're 8-7 through 15. And does anybody have any thoughts on how the season has started?
I mean, there's not much you can complain about. Like we said in our, I guess, last episode, like we were talking about, like a preview of the season. Like the bullpen has been great. Not, I mean,
It's been
besides like
it's been
two
good
players,
enough.
but yeah,
I
it's
mean,
been good enough.
the only time it was really shaky was the Braves series a little bit.
hmm
The Mets series, the starters just didn't really, like the last Mets series away. The starters didn't really give us a chance.
Yeah,
I think, also our offense is terrible too. So can't. That's where I put the blame for that series. But
mhm. But
um,
yeah, like our bullpen's been like obviously worlds better than last year. Starting pitching has had its great moments and it has its bad moments, but more good than bad, I guess. Like we saw today, Nola had a complete game shutout.
and
Wheeler
then
had that
Wheeler had
insane
that.
performance earlier in the year.
Yeah, I am. I'm not. I think it's a little. It's obviously too early to, you know, give a verdict on whether the bullpen is good or not, because they haven't really
hmm
been in many troubling situations.
Yeah,
The only one being that second Braves game, and well, I think, well, I guess they've been in a few, but the only one that was really blown was the Hector save against the Mets. But again, there was runner starting on second. And then Alvarado with that like choppy Freddie Freeman or I guess it was a single to give the Braves the lead in that second game. But
hmm
other than that, I think that they've been really good. Archie Bradley's out for a few weeks, unfortunately, but Connor Brogdon is really good. I like him a lot.
he hasn't even allowed a run yet. I don't
Yeah,
think.
Alvarado's been good. That Kinsler has been pretty good. Um,
Coonrod.
yeah, Coonrod throws gas. Um, so yeah, I think Romero's been terrible, but I didn't really expect a lot
Yeah,
from him.
yeah,
Um, yeah. As for the starting pitching, I think we have we have one of the best top three starters in baseball. Like
for sure.
when when everybody's on, that top three is great, but then it's kind of a drastic drop off. I mean, Chase
The Matt,
Anderson is all
uh,
right, but Matt Moore is just pathetic.
yeah, the Matt Moore experiment has just been an utter failure. Like, I mean, we didn't, I didn't expect it to work out, but I don't know. They got to
Yeah.
try something else there.
Nick and I were actually talking about this the other day in chat. I think it was yesterday. Cole Hamels, I know he's kind of washed, but he's still a free agent. And Rick Porcello. I mean, both of them are kind of washed, and I guarantee they'd be better than Matt Moore.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, Cole Hamels was pretty good 2 years ago, and then I think he was injured last year, right?
Yeah, he
Like
dealt with a lot of injuries the
he didn't even
past
pitch in the
year.
playoffs with the Braves, right?
No, he did not.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain he didn't.
Yeah. So I mean, if he's healthy and good to go, I feel like the fans would obviously love Cole Hamels back.
Mm.
I wouldn't be opposed to that. But I think they're definitely, if they keep winning, I think that we're definitely going to trade for another starter, probably, and maybe a center fielder.
I think center fielder should definitely be the highest priority.
If we can get, um, if we can get both, like if we had another solid starter and an everyday center fielder, um, then yeah, I think we would have a legit shot to win the division.
Mm-hmm. They definitely need a center fielder because Moniak so far has just been a strikeout machine. Like he's not gonna solve the problem. I mean, it's still early, but
Yeah,
and I doubt Odubel's gonna solve anything when they eventually bring him up. Roman Quinn just needs to get off the team.
yeah, he is just he's rough to watch. Like I don't think there's a single player I've ever watched him like he's literally an automatic out. Like
Mm-hmm. He
how many
got
pitches?
he had a hard hit the other night, but like besides that, it's just
Yeah,
strikeout,
I mean
ground out,
he's made some decent
strikeout.
contact, but
Mm-hmm.
like, geez, like uh, he's just bad. I one name that kind of interests me is Starling Marte. I think that the Marlins were. I think that I heard talks that they might trade him. Um, he's been good for them to start. I mean, he's kind of
Mm-hmm.
old, but he'd be a lot better than anybody we have. I don't really know who else would be available. That stuff usually comes to light closer to the deadline, so
Mm-hmm.
we'll see. But as for the everyday players, Bryce has been pretty unlucky, but he had a great day today, 3 for 3 with a walk. Reese has been really good to start the year. Segura has actually he's been hitting for a great. I'm pretty sure he's hitting like 340 to start the year or something like that.
Yeah, he's had a hit in like 8 straight games, I think it is.
Yeah, Didi, um, Didi has been good. JT, Bohm has been clutch, pretty much whenever we needed him to be.
He's
Well,
struggling a little bit right now, though.
most
But
scenarios. He had that. What was it? What was that? What night was it where he had that? Was it last night or 2 nights ago where he had that 2 outs, yet that like the little blooper over the shortstop's head? I think it was last night. Either way, he's just been great with runners in scoring position. Like he's been he like he I'm always confident that he's going to come through.
mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, he just needs to get a little more consistent. But I'm not worried about him.
And
I think go ahead, Nick.
everybody's like playing well offensively, but we're just still not putting up runs, and it's because everybody
Yeah,
just strikes out, no ball gets put in play.
yeah.
25th in
I
strikeouts.
think the lineup needs to change. Like that's easy to say from my standpoint because I'm not making the lineups every day,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like it needs to change. Like something's just not clicking overall,
Yeah, I
especially in that
think.
last series we played.
I mean, Kutch has gotten some hits recently, but I don't know. I'm never really too
He's
confident
walking
in
a
Kutch.
lot.
Huh?
He's walking a lot.
Yeah, but I don't know.
He's just not
He's not a
hitting.
good leadoff.
I'm just never too confident when Kutch comes to the plate. I mean, he was definitely better 2 years ago than he is now.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean that's expected. He came off what? It was ACL, right?
Yeah.
I mean he's still solid, but he's not. We need a legit leadoff hitter.
Hopefully that center fielder we potentially get at the deadline is a legitimate
Yeah, I mean,
leadoff
I
hitter.
really wish that we kept if we kept Corey Dickerson, dude. Oh my god, we'd be so set right now. He was so good.
He could also be available, couldn't he?
I wish we still had him, but what even? I forget what happened with Dickerson. He just left.
He signed with the Marlins.
I know he's on the Marlins. I just didn't know. I forgot how we.
I feel like I think it was something. I don't know. I think we just didn't want to pay him.
Yeah. Yeah, he would be Well, because at the time we still had Kingery. We thought could play center field.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess at the time it wasn't terrible, but right now he's just a great contact. He would be a perfect leadoff hitter. But looking at other potential players, I'm not really sure who's going to be available. But if we can find a solid late season pickup, or even honestly, I sooner rather than later would be better.
Yeah.
I don't really know what we're going to do about. I don't know what we're going to do about the fourth starter because, well, I guess fifth. But I don't know.
Maybe
We
they start
can't.
Howard, but I'm not really too confident with Howard.
I don't know about Howard right now. I just honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if they started Velasquez one day.
Yeah.
I know that's not what we want to hear, but I feel like he's better than Matt Moore.
Probably. I mean, I didn't watch the game on, what was it? I guess yesterday.
Yeah.
Didn't he have like 2 clean innings?
Who, Velasquez?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He did.
That's always his MO, though.
Yeah, he's so inconsistent. He'll strike out the side and he'll give up 5 runs in an inning. But I don't know. In the immediate future, I don't know if he even gets another. I don't know if we even give Matt Moore another chance to pitch. I'm not even kidding. Maybe,
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Who knows? Maybe they'll give him one more shot. I mean, everybody has a bad day, but he against the Braves, he was really bad. The Mets, the first time, that was the game we lost, right? Or no, was that the game we won? No, we won that game. That was against DeGrom.
Yeah,
but we had to make a. That was just because their bullpen blew it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll see about Matt Moore. But yeah, I love our top 3. The lineup, it'll come around. Overall, I couldn't really expect much more than 8-7 after 15 when with the teams that we played. Going 6-6 against the Braves and Mets is solid. I mean, it would have been nice if we didn't lose 3 in a row to the Mets, but it is what it is. All right, so transitioning to the Sixers, we just got a big win against the Clippers. And we play the Warriors tomorrow. What is everyone's thoughts on the Sixers' current position?
Yeah, like Joel Embiid's just been killing it per usual. What was the stat? It was like first Sixer to have like 35 and something since like AI or whatever in like 3 straight games.
It's like 3 straight 35 or 30, 35 plus point games.
Like he's just been absolutely unstoppable. I was going to like say that Jokic should probably be the MVP just because of the games played, but I learned something I didn't know the other day, and to be eligible for the awards, you only have to play 70% of your team's games. And
yeah,
like if Joel plays like all of the upcoming games besides 4 of them, he'll still play 70%. So like I'd say he's probably my MVP.
I think if you're giving MVP just based off games played, that's just stupid, and he obviously doesn't deserve it if you're just giving it to him because, like, giving it to him by default because of the other people missing games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, injuries are a part of like sports, unfortunately, and there's been like a condensed schedule. I mean, you see like people dropping like flies, so I think it's a bit unfair to give Jokic literally every MVP candidate pretty much been hurt at one point, except for Jokic. Like LeBron's been hurt. Has Steph like missed any time? I mean, he's missed
Steph missed that week where they lost to the Raptors by 50.
Oh yeah.
And he missed another week where we played them.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I mean, it's a part of the game, and I don't think it's really. I mean, Jokic is a good player. I mean, he's obviously MVP.
He's having a great season.
Yeah, I mean, like he's definitely like an MVP level player. But I think just to give him the award because X, Y, and Z didn't play as many games as he did, it's not. I don't like that rationale.
Yeah.
And quite frank, I don't know. Like whenever I watch Embiid, like I'm like amazed at what he can do at his size. Like I always see these videos that people post, like not House of Highlights doesn't really publicize us much, but like I've just seen videos of like Embiid replicating like moves that Kobe hit and stuff like that. And like for me, a 7-footer replicating those type of moves is pretty crazy. Also, just the amount of like attention he commands. Like he's literally getting triple teamed every play. Not every play, but there's a good amount of times where he's triple teamed.
I wanted to bring up how Ben's been playing, I guess, ever since the All-Star break. Like, I mean, I want to say the last few games he's picked it up, but he's still showing like the same problems that we've brought up in the past. Like, he's just absolutely worthless on offense in the clutch.
Yeah,
and he's just being so unaggressive. Just not.
I don't want to like give him any excuses or anything like that, but I don't know if you guys have heard about the whole. And I guess we can say this because this has been made public. Like pretty much everyone knows, but like the whole thing with his sister and their half brother Sean Tribe. I mean, I don't want, like I said, I don't want to make any excuses for him, but I feel like that decline after All-Star break, I feel like that is kind of what led to it. And it's like it's a really sticky situation because on one hand, like Liv Simmons is like, oh, I've been like molested since a young age and stuff like that. And then on the other side, you're having like the defense saying, oh, there's just one of her like manic episodes or something like that. And the way that I see it is like, obviously we've seen that like Ben and Sean Tribe are really close. I mean, we all saw that like he gave Sean Tribe a car and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, obviously, I'm not trying to give him any excuses. I don't know what the case. Maybe he just regressed, but I feel like when you have like a family matter like that, and considering how you're close to both sides and one side hurt the other, I think that's like something that does take a bit of a toll on you. And he did say that, like, I think he like hinted towards it in one of like his interviews. And he said something like, "There's a lot of stuff outside that like we can't, or like I can't control." I don't know. I don't think that was the exact quote. But he said something like, I forgot what game it was, but he had a really bad game, and he basically said this like one quote, which kind of like stood out a little bit to me, and I was like, oh, that's a bit weird, like something happening. And I guess just like the timing of like Liv saying her side, and just like the whole back and forth that's happening, I feel like that's taking a toll on him.
I guess I agree that maybe that could take a toll, but like, I don't know. He's out there and he's playing. I don't know what that has to do with him taking the ball to the rim. You know what I mean? Like
that's what I'm saying. I don't think
like he just completely stopped.
Could be like a lack of
finishing. Well, like it's gotten a little better since it was like terrible. And like that one Cavs game, what he shot like
2 for 11,
like 13 or something like that.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like I guess I don't know. I guess that could play a factor, but
we probably won't ever know for sure. But I feel like he shouldn't be saying all these things to the media, like the championship thing, like how he said we're gonna win a championship. Like he was asked that. Like, I don't know what else.
I don't hate it because
come on. Sorry, you go and I'll go.
Well, I was gonna say I don't hate it because like I like confidence. And I like confidence in the team, especially more so than him saying, "Give me Defensive Player of the Year," which he's right. But, you know,
I mean,
the Nets comment
was he actually asked the question like?
You guys, but this is the thing. We can't get mad at him for this. It's not like he's sitting down at the podium every day and like, I'm gonna win Defensive Player of the Year. I'm gonna win the championship. Like he's getting asked these questions. Someone like I'm
not really mad at those.
I mean, I
think I get what
you're saying.
Like, because he's gonna I said, like he's asked that, like he can't. There's nothing else.
He's gonna have to back it up. I think that's the thing.
Yeah, he has to back it up too. That's the main point.
I don't know how I would feel as a fan if like my franchise player said, "Nah, we're not winning the finals this year." I would rather say, or maybe like like the championship's our goal. He could have maybe said that, but I like the whole mindset that like we're winning a championship.
Yeah,
to me that makes me a lot more comfortable as a fan to know that like this team has like the drive. They want to win it. They don't think they can just contend, but they can go all the way and win it.
For sure.
It's been hypocritical that Donovan Mitchell did the whole rookie thing.
Exactly.
Everybody was like laughing, like, haha, that's funny. And then
Gobert cried too.
Well, everybody, literally every single person besides Sixers fans just hates Ben Simmons. It just
exactly.
is what it is.
No, even Sixers fans hate Ben Simmons.
I should say 50% of Sixers fans and everybody in the NBA community that's not a Sixers fan hates Ben Simmons. So basically, the only people that Ben Simmons has behind him is the media, because the media understands that he's an impactful player. The players understand he's an impactful player, but the woke,
the quote unquote
the woke stat freaks. And I'm not saying they're completely wrong. Like, they're right in some ways, but I hate when they try to disregard how good he's been defensively because he's not rim protector.
Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah, rim protection is important. I'm not going to say it's not. But Gobert gets exposed. He gets exposed by any elite center that he plays.
I mean,
and they're like, okay, but even when he gets exposed, his team, he still impacts team defense way more. And I just disagree with that, because maybe when he's clamping, sure, he'll impact team defense, because I was watching the Pacers game, and he was really good when people beat their man and they were going to the rim. He does a really good job of protecting it and stopping them from scoring. But
he's 7 foot, man. Like
that, yeah. But I mean, I get their point about the rim protection, sure, but that's not. But when he's getting like these insane numbers put up against him by these top centers, I just don't understand how you can justify that, because his rim protection is really good in the same game. I
get that. And if you think about it, like, who are the people that Gobert goes up? I mean, Gobert goes up against Embiid, Jokic.
I was going to say
he got exposed.
He goes up against maybe 2 or 3 elite players.
Maybe Karl Anthony Towns you can throw in. He goes up against Bam Adebayo. He probably guards Kristaps, Nurkic, Vucevic, Ayton. You can see like the decline of like skill eventually. And I mean, the rest are very good players, but that drop off from Embiid to Jokic. But meanwhile, you have Ben Simmons that's guarding people like Luka Doncic, Damian Lillard, Paul George, Kyrie Irving. And it's not even that he's guarding them. It's the fact that he's shutting them down for the most part. I know people like to say, oh, but Kyrie dropped 37 or whatever it was. Kyrie dropped 37 on Ben Simmons. I mean,
scored 2 points.
Not really. It was 2 points. It was 1 for 2 on 15 possessions. And then the rest was just him trying to call screens. And he was kind of hypocritical because he said I dropped 42 on Gobert. So that kind of opened up the whole argument. But
I'm not going to lie. I do kind of – I'm not saying that Ben shouldn't be Defensive Player of the Year, but I kind of see their point when they're talking about team defense, because, like, Kyrie scored 37 points on the sixth. Like, Ben wasn't – he may not have been on him, but he also wasn't stopped. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Paul George. He wasn't on him the whole time, but he also wasn't stopping him. So when they're talking about team defense, in some situations, yeah, Gobert probably does have a bigger impact.
To that point, they're like, oh, well, without Gobert, like, the Jazz defense just be awful. But, like, we saw, like, Paul George and Kyrie were just owning the rest of the Sixers players just because Ben was switched off of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm saying the fact that their point is the fact that he is
defense
switched off of them means that he's not guarding them and they're scoring. But Gobert, no matter who he's on, can protect the rim. That's their point. And it's not a terrible argument, but Ben has consistently locked up superstars this year.
Yes, several of the best players.
These last 2 games don't really indicate how much he's guarded these players.
Yeah, I mean, even from the get-go of yesterday's game or Friday's game, I'm pretty sure Danny Green was guarding Paul George from like the start. Like,
yeah.
I think Simmons was on Reggie Jackson.
Yeah, but I was just gonna also mention that if you notice, I think that there might be some sort of strategy of like saving Ben's defense for the fourth quarter. Like all of his energy, because he was on Paul George at the end of the game.
Yeah, he got locked down on that last possession.
for like the last few minutes of the game. So
the Clippers had like 5 straight turnovers, something like that.
Yeah.
Doc said it's because he wants to save his fouls. Like he doesn't want
to
touch up right away.
That and maybe just saving. Not that he's not going to put all of the energy on whoever he's guarding, but it's a lot more taxing when you have to guard somebody who's going to have the ball in their hands constantly.
I feel like that might also like not saving him for the fourth quarter, but like on offense, I feel like he's not putting as much effort in on offense because he's so locked in on defense. I don't know. I feel like
honestly, I would rather have a slight drop off on defense if it means.
Yeah, but I mean, we're winning as a.
We're winning games, but like
it's a matter of if when we get to.
I don't know.
I feel
it's nothing matters until what 2 months, maybe even a couple weeks of a year. Like that's what the NBA is getting to. The season is a month and a half. And it's clear as day by the Nets, by what the Nets are doing.
Their
season doesn't start until May, when the playoffs start.
Which is I would be.
And they're just winning games without their stars just because the team is so talented anyway. But they really don't care about seeding.
Yeah, it's actually crazy. Like Landry Shamet just dropped 30 points today.
Yeah, that's
they lost. They lost.
That confidence is not a good thing. Like trying to go against Giannis, Chris Middleton, and Drew Holiday in the second round, all very capable defenders. That's like
that'll be their first. The second round.
They're gonna get tested, like
their first test. Because I have a feeling they're gonna coast to the first round
test to be in the playoffs.
I can guarantee you one of their stars is gonna miss a few games in the first round too, and it's not gonna matter.
Yeah, and who says they're gonna stay healthy in the playoffs too? Like they keep getting hurt.
That's true, but
it's weird.
I would bet a pretty good amount that they're all going to be healthy by the second round. But who knows?
I just think that your first test being the second round of the playoffs against a really talented defensive team is not a good recipe.
Yeah, like as a Nets fan, I don't think I would really. I mean, obviously the team's doing great as is, but I want to see at least like Harden, Kyrie, and Durant like have a true test at least in the regular season, because I feel like Nick said, to wait until the second round is it's not really the safest bet you can take.
That's definitely true, but all of these, I guess I can say all of those stars have been there before. I mean, Harden hasn't been there in the prime of his career, like in the finals, but he's been right there with one of the best teams ever. And KD and Kyrie have obviously both won championships. So I think they're more than capable of showing up in the second round and winning. But like you said, it might. I'd say small chance, but it might come back to bite them.
Yeah, it could backfire completely. But I don't know. That team does scare me though, because they are winning without a lot. Like they're just it's weird. It's kind of like a revolving door of just who plays. Like I think Durant played, and then like a couple minutes he just.
That's pretty much exactly what it is. It's a revolving door of who plays. Well, for the longest time, like Harden was winning by himself. I mean, Kyrie. Well, they didn't win today, but they were pretty damn close. I know the Heat didn't have Jimmy, but I mean, it's like one of those guys missing. Like for two of them, for KD and KD and Harden, those are two. Like that's a top 10 player missing a game. For any other team, that likely means a loss.
Yeah, and for these guys,
for a lot of teams, like if Luka misses a game, Mavs are screwed. Curry misses a game, no chance the Warriors are going to win that game.
Like you said earlier, 50-point loss to the Raptors. Like
exactly.
Just on
KD misses a game. Oh, we're still gonna.
You got Harden and Kyrie, and then even if you don't have Harden, then you have Kyrie and KD. It's crazy.
Yeah,
they have top 5 like duo, maybe top 3 duo, regardless.
And then they have one of the best shooters in the NBA, Joe Harris.
Harris has been really disappointing every time I've watched him.
Recently, he's been bad. I do agree with that. He was bad against the Sixers. He had a couple shots today, but if we get the version of Joe Harris against the Sixers in the playoffs, he'll have a lot more open looks in the playoffs.
He was really bad against us in the first round a couple of years ago too, but
he was. He owned us in the first game this year, though.
it makes it a lot easier to play with KD, Kyrie, and Harden, though. That's the thing.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah,
I'm not really worried about him. Obviously, like that's just a given. I'm just more worried about how we're supposed to defend the three of them if they're all on the court.
How
honestly,
would we?
like,
let's talk about like the matchups.
Go ahead. I
No,
was
no,
going to
you
say
go-
this
you go
might
first.
be this might be kind of like crazy to say, but I think if I had to pick one that I'm least worried about, I'm probably least worried about Harden in the series against us. I feel like Ben matches up really well with Harden, but nobody matches up well with Kyrie. And Kevin Durant is just Kevin Durant.
he had Thibault like
nobody matches up with Kyrie well. Thibault did stick to him.
Yeah, but Kyrie's got some impossible shots.
Tough shots. Yeah.
He had that weird left-handed thing too, and I thought
think
it was pretty
that
well.
They were. My guess is that they have been on Harden because if you can, in any way, take away, not take Harden, like it's hard to explain. Like if you can limit his playmaking ability and his scoring, But again, like it's just so hard because if you limit Harden, they pass to Kevin Durant. If you limit Kevin Durant, which is probably not going to happen, they pass to Kyrie Irving. Like I don't know.
I think George Hill would start and guard Kyrie.
That could happen too. Yeah, I think Seth. I
want him off the bench.
I wouldn't be shocked if that happened in the playoffs, but
I don't know. I feel like Seth could guard Joe Harris pretty easily, but they definitely try to switch onto him and attack him.
Yeah,
like every time. He's not that bad of a defender, I don't think. I think he's a solid defender for like his frame, but starting George Hill over him is probably a good idea. Pending how good George Hill plays, like
hopefully we get to see that tomorrow.
Yeah,
but again, you want somebody to be a general for the second unit. So I don't know, but would you guys agree that we're probably going to put Ben on Harden, or do you think that we're going to put him on KD?
I don't know, honestly.
My logic was
Tobias?
I think Tobias might be on Harden.
Yeah, that's. I was gonna think.
I was gonna say the opposite. My logic was
me
was
too.
that Harden. I know he's like a little chubbier now, but like Harden is a guy that can just blow right by you even now. Because his first step, even though he's not like the fastest player in the world, he's quick. You know what I mean? So I think no matter what you do on KD, he's going to get his shot up.
But you'd rather have a 7'2" wingspan in his face.
That's true. But what I'm saying is, Harden's not going to blow by Ben. You know what I mean? So you either have Kevin Durant. He's going to take one dribble and pull up either way. So you either have Tobias on him, or if you have Tobias on Harden and Harden blows by him, then that breaks down the defense and somebody's going to be wide open. So I don't know. It's going to be a real challenge to.
I think he's fast enough to keep up with him and get in front of him. I don't think he's really been like. I feel like he's the person I'd want to finish out at the rim out of the three against Joel. Like Kyrie's shown multiple times that he can finish at the rim with Joel.
Well, the thing about Harden is when I've watched him this year, especially in the limited sample size where they were all playing together, he usually doesn't go up with it. He'll kick it out to the open guy most times. So if he does, I guess if he's going to finish at the rim, I guess yeah. But either way, like all of them are just.
It's just mind-boggling to even think about.
Unless they start Jeff Green over DeAndre Jordan, everybody's going to be on the outside on their.
Yeah, all of them are like superstar ISO players. So like, it's like
three of the top 15. Well, Harden and KD are probably top 10 scorers of all time, top 5, 6, 7, maybe. Kyrie's up there too. Like it's just mind-boggling to even think about. I don't know how NBA coaches. Well, we haven't seen them together a lot, but Like, I don't know how they even think about matchups against them. It's just impossible to even think about.
It really is. And they can stagger, like,
yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
Their bench so they have one or two of them on the court at all times. Like, probably, I would highly doubt that there's ever going to be a situation in the playoffs where all three of them are on the bench unless it's a blowout, obviously. And that's what worries me. Like, we talk about Doc hopefully shortening the bench in the playoffs, but I don't know. Like we said, with the Clippers, he really didn't, but he did have better bench pieces. But I don't know. Those all bench lineups against a top 5 player in the NBA, it's just not going to work out. So I don't know. The Nets are deep and they have 3 superstars. So it's going to be awfully difficult to beat them. Our best bet is we have to keep the 1 seed if we want any chance.
I want to talk about this too. Like, I think we're definitely going to get the 1 seed at this point. Not definitely, obviously.
But, I mean, honestly, I want to say that, but we have 2 games against the Bucks this week. We play the Suns still.
I mean,
we need to win against the Warriors tomorrow, which I think we will win.
Curry's questionable.
Curry's been red hot.
If Curry plays and Tobias is out, then that's kind of scary. Oh, we play the Suns this Wednesday. Okay. We still have 2 games against the Hawks at home, which we should win.
If we after these next 4 games, where it's pretty much locked. The last how many games it is, there's just like
last 12
2 playoff teams. It's the Hawks and the Heat. Like it's the rest of our schedule so easy after the next 4.
I think the Nets are settling. Honestly, I don't think they're really like making that push for the 1 seed.
The thing is, like, we're desperately trying to get the wall.
That's the thing. I mean, what's the gap? Milwaukee's like 4 games behind us, right?
4 games back and 2 wins against it. I'm not saying they're going to beat us both times, but they could close that gap too.
Yeah, so that's the only thing I'm worried about.
We can't act like they're out of it. But just going over the schedule, we have the Warriors tomorrow, which is a must-win. Suns Wednesday, which, I mean, I trust us at home against any team, so I think when we're fully healthy, we'll win that game. But that could be a loss. 2 games away against the Bucks. If we could split that, that'd be great. Thunder at home, that's a win. 2 games against the Hawks at home, we should win both of those.
I think we'll probably split that. I don't know. I feel like Trey and Capella usually give us problems. Capella,
if we split that, even if we do split that, we'll probably
that's fine. But... Yeah.
And the Nets have a pretty decently tough schedule. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'll check theirs in a sec. But just finishing off, we have the Spurs away, which could be kind of a trap game. The Bulls away, which could also be kind of a trap game. The Rockets away, that's a win.
Levine.
Well, are they going to have them by May 2nd?
I doubt they will because I'm pretty sure he's out like a couple weeks. I don't know. I guess he could be back.
That would be good.
But
and then we have Rockets away, win. Pelicans at home is a win. Pistons at home is a win. Pacers away is always a rough game for us. I know we came back this year, but for some reason we always have trouble in Indiana. And then we have the Heat away, which obviously is probably going to be a tough game. And then 2 games at home against the Magic. So if we can get to the last 2 games tied or ahead, then we're fine. Looking at the Nets, they have Pelicans away, which you never know. KD will probably be out and Harden. So you never know. Then Raptors away, that's a win. Celtics are playing really well. Suns, then Raptors again. Pacers away, Blazers at home. 2 games away against the Bucks as well. Away against the Mavs, away against the Nuggets. So yeah, they have some tough games too, but they finished the season home against the Bulls and Cavs. So those are 2 wins. So yeah, if we go into the last 2 games down, that would not be ideal. So we just need to get to those last 2 games ahead. We need to be either tied for the 1 seed or ahead of the Nets, and we're fine.
For sure.
Yeah, I think the biggest question though is how many of these remaining games does Embiid play? Because I mean, you don't know if maybe he just sits out down the stretch to rest up for the playoffs.
I think if the 1 seed's clinched, they'll take it easy on him.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, they
How many back-to-backs do we have?
I haven't checked that.
I think there's one this week.
Yeah, one Wednesday, Thursday this week. One May 2nd and 3rd. One May 7th.
Oh, really? We play the Suns? We play the Suns at home, then the Bucks away back-to-back? That's rough.
They're back-to-backs.
Yeah. Spurs Bulls back-to-back. And then Heat Magic back-to-back. So, yeah, we have a few more back-to-backs. I'd imagine he might not even play the last 2 games, Joel.
Probably not. If we're ahead, there's no shot he's playing.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think this next stretch up until just the end of the month, up until that Hawks game is really going to define where we are. If we can split with the Bucks, we're in great shape. Assuming that we can beat the Warriors, and I don't know, this whole week is just going to be huge. This whole week, Warriors, Suns, Bucks. If we can go 3-1, I'll be more than confident.
Even 2-2, I'm still confident.
2-2 would be fine depending on how the Nets do. But yeah, I'm assuming that they're going to sit KD for about a week again.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely will.
I mean, they're not taking any risks with him. But I mean, that's another thing about the playoffs. Like, I don't know, he's fragile. Like, didn't even look like anything happened to him today.
And he went out with a.
I'm sure he probably could have stayed in the game if it was the playoffs.
Yeah, he probably would have. I think that was just a way to get him throw up a couple shots and go back in.
But yeah, they have a pretty difficult week ahead. Like I said, Pelicans away, Raptors away. If the Raptors are ever gonna play their players, I don't know. Like, what's going on with the Raptors? Like, they played nobody tonight, literally nobody, except for Gary Trent.
I think the tank is just in full effect.
Which doesn't make sense because they could still make the playoffs.
Yeah,
I guess they just don't care.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Fully healthy, they just have not been. I don't know what happened this year, but I feel like they were exposed as the team they were in the bubble. Like, they went to 7 against the Celtics, but there's no reason that series should have went to 7. Like,
yeah, no.
If OG doesn't make that shot, they probably lose in 5, definitely 6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, this is it. This is crunch time.
It's picking up, bro. I'm excited. I'm actually very excited.
This time of year, I get really, really excited.
I get very into it. Yeah.
Hopefully, I don't get let down.
Sam, I think I don't think I've ever experienced like more sadness in like sports than I did when Kawhi Leonard hit that shot. That might have been like the most devastating thing I've ever witnessed. I mean, the fact, okay, maybe if he just swished it, I would have been like, God, that sucks. Like, I'm devastated. But like, I saw it bounce. I heard it clunk 4 times and then go through. And then I see like, oh man, I don't know. Kawhi Leonard made a lot of people cry in that playoff run. I mean, he made Giannis cry.
Myself, and I'm not even embarrassed to admit that.
Oh yeah, me neither. I mean, the worst part is I had to face so much crap when I went to school the next day. I think I remember vividly, my Spanish teacher, he knew I was a Sixers fan because he's seen me wear like a Simmons jersey multiple times. I kid you not, I walk into the class and he's playing the clip and he looks at me and laughs. And I'm like, there's no way you're doing this. Like, it was so messed up.
Jeez.
Like, I can't get past that. And the thing that annoys me, and also I'm just probably gonna go on a little rant about this. is that if Kawhi Leonard didn't hit that shot, we're winning the finals 100%. I'm very confident in that. And we would have Jimmy Butler right now. We'd probably run it back, honestly. Like, we probably have the same exact lineup that we did then.
We would have a great.
I try not to dwell on the past too much because
neither do I. I think we probably would have won an OT, but you never know. And I don't know. It
sucks. I just hope I don't feel that again. I hope I just don't. I
think the only way that I'll be absolutely devastated this year is if we lose in the second round to a team not named Brooklyn.
Yeah, like if we lost to the Celtics.
If we lost to the Celtics again this year, I would.
That'd be the worst.
Bro, like that would just.
Oh, dude!
We would never be able to say another word again.
After all the shit that we've said, I don't think we could see her. Like, I think we might just have to leave the group chat completely.
Because literally, people already say that nothing we do against the Celtics in the regular season matters. But if we lose this year, when we had the 1 seed or whatever we finish, and they were struggling all year. But honestly, I was actually going to say that we talk about this. The Celtics, Nate was saying earlier that he's a little threatened by them. I really
just a little bit.
I understand that they're picking it up, but I don't know. That team is they're really not that good, and especially we neutralize Tatum every time when we have Ben Simmons.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't see him going off on us, to be honest.
I just don't see him. He would have to go off in order for the Celtics to beat us in a 7-game series. He would have to go off in 4 wins.
When I say I feel threatened by them, it's just they're picking it up finally, and when they get Fournier back, they can have the same team they basically did. Not the same team, but they can run the same lineups they did with Hayward, basically. And obviously, our best players aren't really known for playing well in the playoffs. Obviously, Joel averaged 30 last year, but he was really bad in the second half of every game, and also his stamina was just really bad. Obviously, this year's a lot different, but that's the main worry I have with this team against anybody besides the Nets.
And
I don't know. I just feel I understand. I know that it's a prove it league and you have to prove that you're capable, but I don't know. I just don't think, especially when talking about playing the Celtics, I don't think using individual performances, sure, but team performances, when Celtics fans argue, "Oh, we beat you in the past, so we're going to beat you this year," that has nothing to do with anything. Our team in 2018 was not good. We were pretty good. We won all those games to end the season, but our roster is really not that great.
I'm not gonna lie, that was a lot of fun, that roster.
It was fun.
It was so much. It was just not a good roster at all.
It didn't work in the playoffs because JJ and Marco Bellinelli got targeted on defense.
Rocco didn't hit shots. He also got exposed on defense.
Rocco went scoreless twice in that series.
Oof, I don't know how badly. I don't know. I feel like I might be the only person on this. Oh, sorry, you go.
Go ahead. No, I was just going to say, obviously, Ben had that 1-point game.
Oh, yeah, that was terrible. I remember that was terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just miss that team, bro. I miss having Marco Bellinelli and Ersan Ilyasova. I just miss those guys.
Dude, watching Ersan against the Lakers I think it was yesterday, dude, I would love to have Ersan instead of Mike Scott.
So much better than Mike Scott.
I wanted to bring this up, actually. Mike's, been playing, solid recently, but and then he just follows up with a complete dud against the Clippers. I don't know.
Shoot, 3 for...
He was 2 for 9 on threes. Yeah,
2 for 9.
I don't get it.
I love the guy. He's just not a good NBA player anymore.
I just don't understand because he was...
We're not asking... the thing is,
we're not reliable 2 years ago.
He was.
He gets too much hate in this fan base. It's too focused on. He's the 10th man on this team, basically. He's basically the 11th man because Tyrese is better than him, but obviously we're not playing Tyrese in most situations.
When George Hill comes back, it just would have been really nice to pick up another. If we had another solid backup 4, this team would be complete.
Do you know what? You know what annoys me about Mike Scott though? Oh, sorry. Actually, Jack, I mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
The thing that annoys me about Mike Scott is we're not asking him to climb Mount Everest or something. And we're not asking him to dribble the ball and create his own shot. He literally gets wide open threes.
Yeah,
he has the easiest job in the league is just to sit in a corner, and Ben Simmons will do all the work. Ben Simmons does all the work for him, and all he needs to do is hit the 3, and he shoots 2 for 9. That's ridiculous. I feel like any of us could shoot 9 open 3-pointers in an NBA court and at least make more than 2 of them.
Oh, okay. Come on now.
My shot's cash. I don't know.
He was a reliable shooter, and then I don't know what happened.
I think it was the headbands. I'm not gonna lie, because he was a dog with the ninja bands, and ever since then he's just not been the same player.
Yeah. I was just saying, I'm trying to think what our bench lineup is going to be with George Hill. Maybe we could play Matisse at the 4.
But in the playoffs?
And just cut Mike Scott out of the rotation.
For the rest of the regular season, I think.
I don't think they'll ever cut Mike Scott, to be honest. Or at least not now. I don't think at this point they would.
I think you mean just cut his minutes.
No, I get that. I don't think they would do that still.
Doc is in love with him.
Something, yeah. I mean, everyone's in love with him on that coaching staff and on the team. And I mean, rightfully so, I guess, because he's a grit guy. I guess he's probably one of the glue guys on that team. I don't know. I want to see more of Anthony Tolliver. I want to see him play a little bit.
I mean,
he was solid.
I'm sure if he shot 9 threes, he could have made more than 2 of them. He shot 2.
He shot 1.
Yeah, he shoots he's career 35 or something. I mean, it's not terrible.
I feel like he's too similar to Mike, though. I don't think he's going to be an upgrade at all. I'll probably do the same things that we get mad at Mike for.
But he'll make the 3s at least.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Is he reliable? He really has never done anything.
I don't know, man. I feel like any player could hit.
I don't know.
If we had now, I just don't understand why. If we had Earson, man.
Oh man, if we had Earson out, imagine Earson hitting or just getting 9 open 3-pointers. He would at least hit 3 or 4. Yeah. There's no doubt.
Yeah, he was cash against the Lakers. Maybe it was a fluky game, but I mean, he's always been pretty reliable.
This doesn't really matter for this season, but if Furkan puts on a little muscle this offseason, then I feel like he could be a solid backup 4. Because he's what, 6'7", something like that.
Oh yeah, he's
he just needs some muscle, and I feel like he could be solid at the 4, but that doesn't really matter now.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously,
I think I think a lot of people were way too quick. It was scary. They were way too quick to give up on Furkan. I mean, he's 23, and he's a pretty good shot. I like him. I'm
he's really good when he plays with
the starters. I think it has to be an ego thing. I'm not gonna, because he seems like the type of guy that has a little bit of an ego. So he's probably oh, look at me, I'm playing with the starters. I'm a big boy. So he probably steps up his game because of that. But I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like he just has these hot stretches. And he just has these really bad stretches. But the thing with him is he's been really active on defense, and that's definitely gonna get an argument to get some minutes in the playoffs. I don't think he should play in the playoffs.
Yeah, but dude, in his last
he's been really active on defense.
Yeah, in his last 4 games, he has 3 steals, 2, and then 5 steals. He's been really solid lately, and he's also I don't know, not shooting 2 for 9 from 3. That's for sure.
Yeah, recently he's been really good. Let's just hope that he can be a consistent shooter in the playoffs. I don't think, you guys had mentioned earlier, that we might cut him out of the rotation. I highly doubt that for the playoffs with what we have right now.
Who, Furkan?
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to cut Furkan.
If we could just combine Matisse Thybulle and Furkan Korkmaz into one player, that would be amazing.
But we can't. That would be one of them. Oh, that would be amazing.
But yeah, I think I don't know. I think that Doc is gonna hopefully come to a senses and run an 8-man rotation with George Hill, Matisse. Well, maybe actually no. It'll probably end up being 9. Honestly, again, like we had the same discussion. It might even be 10. Who knows?
I don't even care how many players it is, as long as he has starters on the court at all times.
Yeah, I want to see Embiid, Simmons, or Tobias at least on the court.
He said at one point, I forget when he said this, it was a while ago, but he said something about how many minutes Joel's gonna play in the playoffs. I forget what it was though.
I think he said 38. I think that's what he said.
Yeah, that's a good number.
He's playing what, 33 right now?
Less, I think.
Really?
Yeah, that's a good number. So I feel like that's some optimism for how he's gonna manage the rotation.
He's playing.
Ben can probably play 40.
Yeah, 32 minutes.
32.
Tobias could play 40 also. I think that's a good sign for our worries about if he's gonna play the bench too much.
Yeah, if 38 minutes, that'd be great. I mean, that would mean that I like Dwight, but I mean, obviously when Embiid is in, I don't want to rely on Dwight to play how many minutes does Dwight play right now? Probably 16, 18.
Yeah.
Well, his minutes are probably inflated because of yeah. So I'm saying he probably plays if Embiid
16.
plays 32, then 16. Yeah, he probably plays 16. But yeah, I think if he could just come in for quick spurts and provide energy off the bench in the playoffs, that'll be more than enough.
This isn't a knock on Dwight, but it kind of just shows how good Joel is. But the difference between our offensive rating and defensive rating when Joel's in the court, and the opponent's offensive rating or whatever is 15 points, something like that. We outscore teams by 15 over 100 possessions, and Dwight gets outscored 16 or something like that.
Well, that also is the fact that Dwight plays with Mike Scott, Matisse, Furkan, and Shake.
Dwight plays 14.7 minutes per game when Joel does.
Yeah, around that.
Yeah. So yeah, it'll probably be around 10 in the playoffs then, which is fine. Yeah, I'm interested to see how we implement George Hill. I really hope he plays tomorrow. I'm excited to see him play. Especially if Tobias is out, then we're going to need him. But he might be a little rusty to start. But yeah, if he can be a reliable shooter and playmaker and play quality defense, then he'll be more than enough as a backup point guard.
And the playoffs start a whole week after the regular season ends.
Yeah, the play-in
tournament. Yeah.
So Joel should be well rested. He should be able to play 38 minutes.
Yeah, for sure. Which sometimes when people get that much time off, it's not the best thing. But we're going to be playing
as long as
probably a lowly team, so
practicing or something.
So it'll be fine.
I'm not going to lie.
Go ahead, Samir.
Oh, no, you go. Sorry, this is a little bit off.
No, I actually forgot what I was going to say. Go ahead.
When Embiid came back from his injury, I didn't think he was going to continue to be as good as he was before. I thought he was going to take a little step back, but I just feel like I needed to talk about it. He's been really damn good lately. Since he's come back, it's actually crazy. I was going to be no, literally,
Pelicans game.
Yeah, that was I didn't really. I mean, I always knew Zion was good, but I've never actually watched him play that many NBA games. So to watch him do what he did against us, I was like, he's a freak, bro. He can just, I don't know.
He cost me money the other day though, with his 7 turnovers.
Yeah, I mean, he's sometimes he's really, really dominant, and then other times he can be a little shaky. But it seems like when he picks up his dribble, it's really, really, really hard to stop him.
He's the best finisher in the league by a wide margin, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Yeah, he finishes everything.
He's shooting like 61% from the field. That is crazy. He was 15 for 28 against us. Jesus.
15 for 28 against us?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And they only attempted 1 3-pointer. That's ridiculous.
15 for 28. I mean, only shooting layups is not great.
Oh yeah, no, but he's still. He gave me.
That's still.
He
Good.
made me age like 5 years.
Yeah. Does anybody have anything else or?
I mean, we already talked about how George Hill is gonna have like a big impact for Shake and everything. I don't know.
Shake playing off ball is going to be great.
Yeah, that's going to be amazing. I think it's
I think we've covered everything we wanted to cover.
Yeah, pretty much.
I low-key wanted to talk about Isaiah Joe, but I feel there's nothing to talk about because I feel like he's just disappeared.
There's no chance he plays. It's too late for that. It's just too late to implement him. I mean, maybe next year.
Hopefully,
there's not even an argument. There's not even an argument for him being better than Furkan at this point. So there's no shot he plays.
No. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. There's just no shot. Yeah.
I hope they beef him up this offseason. Like, I hope he just puts on muscle because I feel like Isaiah Joe could be decent.
Last thing I was going to mention is I'm wondering if we're in need of a spark, if Max is going to get any time in the playoffs.
If we needed like a spark, yeah, probably.
I was gonna say like when we were talking about the bench earlier, like I don't care how many players we play, just as long as there's a starter on the court all the times. But like we could play like 10, 11 guys like Doc did, like based on the matchups. Like obviously Matisse is probably gonna play more if we face the Nets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he definitely could play.
Maxey was really good last game.
Doc said also like you're gonna play in the playoffs or something like that. Like he was talking about Maxey like always being ready.
I mean, yeah, he's been. I mean, when given opportunities, I feel like he'll be really good with if he's in with starters.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was in with a couple starters against the Clippers when he was going off, right? If I remember correctly, or no?
Yeah.
I think he was, and he had what, like 10 points, 11?
9.
Mm-hmm.
9
and three assists as well.
Nice. Well, yeah. If we can get, I mean, I don't think he's gonna play enough to put up those kind of numbers, but even if it's just like a really quick spurt to drive to the rim and get fouled or make a couple layups, then
Also,
just to give somebody a quick blow on the bench.
I think it had to have been this Clippers game because he hasn't really hit a 3 lately, but I think he hit like a maybe like a deep 3, something.
Yeah, he pulled up.
Yeah, he did.
If he can do that consistently, that would also be amazing. That'd be nice. I think that would help.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for today. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Stay tuned for a potential NFL mock draft episode. We'll give our insight on all the potential options for the Eagles. And make sure to follow the Instagram and subscribe to the YouTube, both Broad Street Coverage. Thanks for listening.